we're the Geriatric Millennials. I'm Jayme.
And I'm Beth.
And we are two youngish, oldish ladies hanging out, catching up. I haven't seen Beth. I haven't seen you
so long.
It feels like forever.
Yeah. Jayme abandoned me in the cold and disgusting and went to the tropics.
Oh my gosh. We left at a great time.
Yeah. It was, I was definitely jealous of your pictures.
Everything was covered in ice.
Yeah.
But the bad part is our flight was delayed. And so we missed like an entire day that we paid for an all-inclusive.
Oh, that
which was a
sucks.
huge bummer.
Yeah.
So we had to pay for an additional hotel on top of the hotel we were already paying for. And then I thought that the airlines should be responsible for that, but like nobody really cares.
No,
like,
not anymore.
And the all-inclusive didn't care because I was like, we weren't here. You know, we're considered a no-show. And I'm like, it's not my fault. I don't know.
It's frustrating. And then they're like, you should have had travel insurance. And I'm like, I'm not paying $50 extra. Or how much is travel insurance?
I have no idea.
I probably
know.
I've probably like been missing out my whole life on travel insurance because I'm like, it must be like $50 a day of travel.
I feel like I've gotten travel insurance before, and I feel like it wasn't that helpful when I needed it.
Okay.
But I don't remember the details.
Good to know.
Apparently. My brain, it's one of those things that I don't remember.
That you don't remember.
But anyway, we made the best of it.
Yeah.
We started our Bananagrams tournament.
Mm-hmm. And where were you, for those that want to know?
So, we flew out of Spokane, so we had some extra time in Spokane before we left, and we went to Cancun to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary.
That's
because
awesome.
we've been married for over 20 years.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird to think that
2 decades.
That's a long time.
You're like almost to a quarter of a century.
It's just weird to think, because when I hear that, I think, wow, like you guys must be pretty old. And I just don't feel that old.
No.
I know that I am, but I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm in this place of like, how could I be married 20 years?
I know.
But I am.
There's this TikTok going around right now that is making me laugh so hard. It's this little like clip from the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, where like the lead character that's in the 80s when the story's happening, she's not in the past. She's the one that's like, oh gosh, Kathy Bates, and she's like Tawanda or whatever when she hits the cars and stuff. But she's just like, I'm too old to be young, and I'm too young to be old.
Yes, I think you sent that to me.
Yeah, I was dying, and the lady's like, you just need hormones because you got menopause. I'm like, no. But yeah, there's that weird feeling of like, oh, okay.
I'm too young to be married for 20 years.
Yeah.
But
Wild.
I'm also, it is wild. I mean, I have friends younger than me that are grandmothers.
My best friend just became a grandma.
Wait, what?
Yeah. She sent me a picture and she just became a granddaughter. She's a little granddaughter now.
Wait, that's so weird.
And her son's like a legit adult married. I mean, he's barely an adult because he's like, I don't know, I think he's 20, but still.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be even weirder.
And she's like a grandma and she's so cute. And I'm just like, but she's not a grandma. I'm like, you can't be called grandma.
Right?
Like you look like you could. I think this is this weird stage, right? So some of our friends are still having babies in their 40s.
Yes.
And some are like grandmas.
Exactly.
Like,
like you could be both.
Yeah.
Even at the same time if you wanted to.
Really. Oof. I would not want to. I was walking the other day. I'm like, am I an auntie now? I'm like, I'm a little young to be an auntie. Like, no. Like, I feel like I need another 10 years on me before I'm like, ooh, there's the auntie. Hey, girl. But I'm also not like, you know, out there in the streets. So anyway,
I know.
I'm glad Hawaii was fun. I'm glad it was fun years ago when you lived there.
It really
Cancun,
was. Yeah. I miss it every day.
But
Cancun was great.
I love that you took Bananagrams with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We did. And we had an ongoing, like, we were keeping track of who won every time. And then we just kind of kept a tally going for the trip itself.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
Oh no.
Unfortunately, Tony won 11 games and I won 9. So we played a total of 20 games. But it was very close. I mean, think about that.
Yeah. But
that's only a 2-game difference.
It's impressive.
Well, I mean, it was like 4 or 5 days.
Did you guys go dancing?
We tried. We did.
Uh-huh.
I say tried because it was not great, in my opinion. So we found a place and they did actually have a lesson, like a free lesson at the beginning. But it was really funny because the style of lesson was very different than we are used to. I mean, they just kind of jumped in there and we were doing stuff that was pretty advanced.
Yeah.
And there were not a lot of people.
Okay.
But it was still, and it was all in Spanish, which was cool. And then, but yeah, there wasn't really very many people. So I mean, we danced and the floor was very uneven. So I brought my dance shoes, but I did not change into them. So I was dancing in my sandals. But it was fun. I mean, it was warm. Oh my gosh, we were sweating like crazy because you barely have to move and you're sweating because it's hot. But I do have a story about that night. So we're in Mexico and we are at this establishment that's kind of pretty open to the air. I mean, it's a restaurant and a bar, but it doesn't have real solid walls.
Okay.
So when you're driving by on the street, I mean, you can look right in and then there's lots of lights, string lights and stuff like that. It's a cool atmosphere, but it's not like an enclosed building.
Okay.
And I'm sitting in a chair next to the quote unquote wall, which is made of sticks. And these sticks are next to each other, but there's gaps.
Okay.
So it's like a stick wall that's not
like a
solid, like you can see through it, and but it's still a barrier. And right next to that is the sidewalk.
Okay.
And so, and we're kind of up a little bit, like you had to walk up a couple stairs. So I'm sitting I'm sitting on a stool at the table, like right next to the wall, and we're just hanging out in between dances. And I feel this thing, like I feel something on me. And I was like, what? And I look, and this person's hand from the sidewalk, this man was reaching in through the slats and was like feeling me, like trying to feel me.
Gosh.
And so when I tell this story, people are like, was he trying to like pick your pocket? And I'm like, well, I was wearing a dress.
He was trying to pick you.
Yeah, I think so. Because there was no pocket. I mean, if there had been a pocket, that would have been very unfortunate if you like reached in and like grabbed something. But that was not the case. I was wearing a dress that had no pockets. And he just like slid his hand like along like the side of my thigh, like butt and thigh. But it was such a creepy feeling because I didn't know what it was. I mean, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a
snake
creature
or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was a creature or something.
It was a creature.
Well, true.
Yeah.
So I just like gasped and I'm like, like that. And I look and then he immediately like withdrew his hand and then just ran down the street.
Ew.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, like what just happened? And what do I do with that? What do I do with that? Like, just like, I just felt kind of like violated and also just powerless to do anything about it. But one of the girls working there came over right away and she's like, what happened? Like, tell me. And apparently he had been kind of hanging out by the entrance and was saying things like, oh, I'm just hanging out. I'm just waiting for somebody. And I don't know what all he was saying. And then he just started walking, I guess I don't know if he was hanging out right by where we were sitting or not. I wasn't facing that.
Yeah.
I wasn't facing the street, the sidewalk or the street. I was facing the inside of the place we were. And so anyway, that happened. And nothing we could do or they could do. I mean, he was gone. He was long gone. But still, it just kind of put a little bit of a different feel on that night.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that happened. But we still had a really fun night.
Okay.
So there was some good dancing there. And then And that we had to wait. Like we had to wait till Thursday night because there was nothing going on Wednesday, nothing going on Tuesday that we could find out about. Friday night, we went to a live band that had some dancing, and we got there and they set up and they started. They were a really good band. It was a Cuban salsa band and it was an outdoor thing and it was really cool. And we ordered some delicious ceviche and then it started pouring rain.
Oh, shoot.
So we scrambled to the side where there's a little bit of a roof and the band packs everything up and just waits. So we waited for the downpour to end and then waited for them to set up again. And again, there was just a couple of people dancing. So it wasn't like going to a place where it was a social dance where there was like all of these dancers that we could dance with. It just wasn't like that. And apparently that's not really the scene in Cancun. If we had wanted to go to a nightclub, like club dancing, I'm sure that would have been.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty touristy town.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're into. So, so I would say that the dancing around here for us is better.
It's better.
But it was still a lot of fun. So
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. But we came home and back to the gray,
were you
gray
instantly
skies.
Cold shock?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Because the hard part is the in between the car and the airport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to bring my big winter bulky coat, on an airplane all the way. I'm bringing a carry-on down to Cancun. But then when we got back, I mean,
it's just like,
we're so cold walking to the car. But it was fine. I mean, you endure.
Yes.
But anyway, so yeah, we were gone. And that's the longest we've actually been away from our kids together in 20, well, no, not 20 years, since we've had kids, which is like 16.
Was it amazing when you came home? Did they run open arms to you, hugs and?
I would say that 1.5 of them did. And so, yeah, they were happy to see us, happy to have us home. It was great that we could actually take a trip like that. So yeah. And now, like I said, we're back to the gray skies.
At least it's not, knock on wood, snowy right now.
I know.
But I mean, it's still early.
It's been so wet here. Like I have my patio furniture outside that I have been wanting to like cover or put away since October.
Yeah.
But I want it to be dry.
Yeah. Good luck.
And it just hasn't happened in that long.
Yeah.
I thought we lived in a desert.
Yeah. It's been a very moist winter. Like it's just constantly, and I think what kills me is like, it's kind of been dreary and rainy and you might get a pop of sun and like the middle of the day and then it goes away immediately and it's just like, oh,
I know,
it's
like
got me so excited. Yeah. And then it's just like, and then when it does get sunny, I'm like, oh, but why is it on a Sunday when I need to like take a nap? You know, like it's been so hard.
How's it going with your night naps? Are you still doing that?
I'm still doing night naps. I'm trying to break myself of the habit, but oh my gosh, this last weekend, so I literally will look at my cats. Okay, everybody knows I'm an unofficial cat lady. Like I just love them, and
Why is it unofficial? Come on.
Because I feel like
you only have 2.
Because I only have 2, and I think that like I don't own any cat paraphernalia for like wearing things, right? Like I don't own cat sweatshirts and earrings. No,
hear that everybody?
That is not an invitation for people to get me that for Christmas and birthdays. But so I think there's an element to cat ladyhood that where you have, you know, accoutrement that you have as a cat woman. But anyway, so I like to take these little night naps, you know, like maybe 7:30, just go lay in bed for an hour and a half, watch a movie with my eyes gently closing and opening at, you know, whatever. And so anyway, I'm laying down and I bought this. I think I don't know if I've shared this with you, but I had all of this end of the year money to use for my, you know, like savings, health.
Oh yeah, you did.
So
Yeah,
I
you
bought
told
that
me.
J pillow that you get when you're like a pregnant. It's like the pregnancy pillow that goes around your body so you can sleep on your side.
I think I might need one of those.
It is the best thing. It was like $95. I'm $95? Who are you? No. Best investment. I used to sleep with like 8 pillows on my bed, always having to put them everywhere. They're all on the ground. I just use this pillow now and like my arm tucks under it and I don't ever get those like shoulder pains or anything.
And you got it in between your knees, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's fabulous. So I get tucked in and I'm snug as a bug in a rug. And then Bubba will come in and he will lay right by my face, like lay lengthwise, look me in the eye and just purr and open and slowly close his eyes. And he's just the cutest thing ever. And I'm just giving him snuggles and I give him pets.
So this is your routine?
This is my routine. And then Fratelli sleeps in her little princess chair because she won't have any part of that. So
I'm so glad you have Bubba in your life.
Well, Fratelli will sleep with me too, but only like on the couch and at night when Bubba's not there. So what I typically do is like I have a pre-nighttime nap with Fratelli, where it's like after dinner, I just lay down for a second, scroll in TikTok. She'll lay on me or she'll sit in my lap, and she's so cute because she'll look up at me and she'll stretch and put her paw out and she'll just touch my face.
What?
And put it down. It's very cute. It's very cute. Anyway, it's a whole thing that we have, this whole routine.
I feel like you need to record this or something.
I try, but they don't like to be on camera. Okay. They're like, you're not exploiting us for cat talk.
What if you set up your camera across the room and they don't know?
No, you need the up close and personal with it.
I feel like there is a solution to this.
There's probably is, but I'm just not willing to invest in any more cameras in my home to document my cats. So, but anyway, the J pillow, I don't know what it's called, but the full body pillow has been a game changer.
Is it pregnancy pillow? Is that it?
Well, they have them too for if like you're just a side sleeper.
Which I am.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one that I bought was for pregnancy, but I don't know.
I need to tell you something about this side sleeper thing.
Yeah.
Remember I told you about my bed?
Oh yeah, that you needed a new one?
Last night was like the worst sleep of my life. Well, not really, but it was bad. I was in so much pain and I was so mad and I was like cussing because
which you never do.
I know. I was just like,
all the
I
things.
hate this bed. And so anyway, we were troubleshooting that today. It took like over half the day.
Yeah.
We took our mattress completely apart because it has different layers. We were laying them on the floor. I had a level out. I was trying to determine what is the cause of this? Is it which layer? What is going on? And what we think is happening is it's just like a very small thing that like gets compounded with the more layers and the weight. It's like, I feel like I'm Princess and the Pea.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's just off a little bit, but by the time you get to the top of the mattress, I feel like I'm in a hammock and I don't want to sleep in a bed hammock. Okay, so anyways, we went and got like this big sheet of wood and we put it in there. We put it inside.
Now we have a layer of wood in the bed.
We have a layer of wood in there, so tonight I'm going to see if it's better.
Yeah. If not, it's time.
I want a firm bed. Beth.
Okay.
I want it to be
like
firm.
A firm mattress.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want any of the sagginess. Saggy bed. No, thank you.
Yeah. I'm like terrified of mattresses because I've seen too many TikToks where the people open the mattress zipper thing that's like the protective cover.
Why are you watching this?
What do you mean?
Why are you watching this?
It comes up on my TikTok.
I'm afraid of what you're going to say.
But they open it and it has fiberglass in it. And without
I thought you were going to say like bugs or something.
No. And then they get the little fiber. They're like, I'm going to wash it, blah, blah. And it says, don't remove it. And then they do. Or it doesn't say don't remove it. And then their house gets infected with fiberglass, which is...
Why are you... What? It's
super informative.
Okay, well, my mattress is made out of latex, so I'm not worried
There's
about
a lot of mattresses that I guess are made with fiberglass. And so you have to be really careful when you... like, and they have this kind of like a cover over it. And then when you open it, like the little fibers can get out. And so people, what they were doing is like they're taking off the...
And they can die from that in their lungs or something?
Well, it's not good for your lungs, but the bigger problem is it's like little glass particles in your house and it's terribly hard to get out. So it's like it gets in all your clothes, stuffed animals for kids, like anything fabric.
This sounds horrible.
It's awful. It's like a whole thing.
I don't have mattresses.
So now I'm just like, I'm always going to make sure my mattress doesn't have fiberglass because I'm like, I can't be responsible to remember not to unzip things because I'm curious.
Yeah. Our mattress is foam and latex.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just a PSA for anyone listening
I
to not open around your thing unless you know.
Now that we put this big slab of wood in there, we can't zip up the thing around the mattress anymore. So like 2 corners are zipped and the rest is not. I'm like, whatever. I don't care.
We're just trying.
We're going to sleep on this thing and hope that it's better. Because I'm a side sleeper. All that to say, I'm
telling you, need to get this pillow.
I'm interested in the pillow.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Please
because
do.
it has honestly, like, I thought I would sleep with it. Like the first couple of days, it takes a minute to get used to it, right? And break it in because it's like.
Do you put it under your head too? Like
it goes around your whole body. It's amazing.
Oh wow.
And it took a minute to get used to it. And I was like, the second day, I was like, oh, that was too much. And then I went back to it. And now it's like, again, all my pillows are on the side of the bed. And
if you ever go anywhere, what are you going to do?
I'll be fine. Because I can do one day.
Can you take that thing?
Hell no. It is like long. It's twice as
it's
the length
worse
of
than
me.
A winter jacket?
Yeah. Like, and it's heavy. And that's the other thing too. I have to like roll over it when I'm trying to like get out of bed and stuff because it's so... Yeah.
I need to look at it. I'm going to go see it.
It's big. Anyway, so I just need to say, work has been crazy. Like, work has been crazy. Like, right now someone's out, so I'm just helping to fill in just a little bit. So it's not a big deal, but it's like all of a sudden, like I think it was Thursday. Everybody just like kept coming into my office and IMing me. It was like phone calls. It was just like all at once. And I just wanted to get one thing done and I couldn't. I was getting frustrated. Well, I had my first meeting with this life coach on Thursday.
Is this outside of work or is this at work?
So it's a service provided through work. And so I've been looking for a life coach in town. And
Did you ask me? Why not? Just kidding.
Many reasons.
Keep going. I think I'd be a good life coach.
Would be good. But I want somebody that has like some kind of training. I know you would. But that was my problem. I kept seeing people like local, but I'll
be your life coach.
Yeah. And I was like, I need to know like what background you have. Like, I don't just want somebody who's like, I woke up and wanted to be a life coach.
Okay.
So anyway, we started.
How do you even become a life coach?
Well, a lot of times it just like they're like these ones are for business, so it's like entrepreneur coaching and different things. But people have backgrounds in like therapy or social work or all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of different life coaches. Anyway, I had to like specifically request a Black female life coach because I'm like, I need someone that might understand it. Yeah, like I had some very lovely people like, no, I need something that gets what I'm coming from. Anyway, it was good, but like I got real annoyed. And the next day I was so like snippy.
By what she said?
Because I asked her to push me and then she had the audacity to ask me questions. Like, who do you think you are? In the nicest way possible. And I was like, ugh, I don't want to think about that.
That's hilarious.
Or she's like, what do you want? Blah, blah, blah. And what do you enjoy? And kind of like, what do you want life to feel like, in the future? And so I was like, how am I going to write this? And so I'm writing an obituary. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
You literally are?
Yeah.
Did she tell you to do that?
No, she just said to like make a list, basically think about
so
things.
So why are you writing an obituary?
Because in order for me to think about like the future and what I want life to look like, I want to go to the end of life and look back and be like,
interesting.
Oh, she,
this
Elizabeth
is what she did.
Died at 98 years old. She was a lifelong learner surrounded by her friends and chosen family.
Are you going to read the obituary to me?
I will send you a copy. But yeah, I'm workshopping it right now. But it was like, I don't like to be pushed. But
then why did you ask her to push you?
Because you feel like you need to be pushed? Because I need to be pushed.
Like, but it's uncomfortable.
I don't have people in my life that are pushing me out of my comfort zone right now. And so I really needed it. It was really good. And then all of a sudden, all this other stuff happened too. Like she just asked me, we had a whole 45-minute session where we were talking. And of course, I just say things without thinking. So then I realized after the fact, I said some things about myself that I don't believe to be true. Like I said, some people might call me a people pleaser. I'm like, first of all, nobody calls you that. Not really. And I made it sound like I have no boundaries. Like I don't say no to anything. I say no to stuff all the time.
Okay.
Beth, you want to come hang out? No, I don't feel like it.
Okay, so you're going to have another follow-up
I need to have another conversation with her. Like,
interesting.
I need to be like, here's the thing about me. Sometimes I just freeball it. I'm just saying the words that are in my head without thinking.
Yeah.
And it might not be representative of what I'm actually feeling or who I think I am.
Yeah.
Because then I was on TikTok looking up like, what are people pleasers? And they're showing them like, people that like feel really bad about like sending food back at the restaurant or don't want to impose. I'm like, no, give me my coupon. If anything, I'm a Karen. Anyway, so it was just kind of funny to just kind of look at that. But I'm kind of excited to get pushed.
I'm excited for you, but I can understand it being uncomfortable because that's literally what it is.
It is. It's just being uncomfortable and like,
and because you got to grow. Like you're not nothing's gonna change. Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable, especially the older that we get. It's like, I don't want to change.
I know
XYZ.
Well, and it's not even like, I'm not even thinking about it, right? I'm just in my routine.
Autopilot.
And I'm like, I don't want to, I'm tired of this.
Yep.
But I don't know how to break the cycle of autopilot because our brains are hardwired to autopilot, right? Our brains are always looking for ways to just make it like use less resources, and it's like autopilot's the way to go. It's the safest method typically. So I'm trying to break out of that.
Well, good for you.
Anyway, but I did like on Saturday, I went and I signed up finally for the gym. I told a friend I would sign up for the gym by February.
Which one?
Gold's. And so I went in and signed up to so I have a gym membership so I can go and work out.
That's cool.
I haven't used it yet, but whatever. I did it.
And you already have the shoes.
I already have multiple pairs of shoes. I was looking at like the fits there and it's like girlies now wear like the cutest little like coordinated thing. I'm like, I can't be that.
You do not need to do
I'm going to be wearing the same pants I wore 10 years ago that are Nike that I bought for $50 thinking like, wow, I'm a big spender. But they're still fine. They may not be the freshest, but that is
fine. Okay. You're just going to sweat.
I'm just going to sweat. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not there to look cute.
It's not a fashion show.
I'm there to walk 3 miles on a treadmill and go home.
Good for you.
That's all I'm there for. Like,
Do you have a plan? Is that your plan?
My plan is to start very simply. Like I did really well before when I would like walk a mile to like warm up. And then I did 3 miles on the little like elliptical or one of those type of things just to get started. And then once I feel like I have a little more stamina and whatever, I'll start doing some weightlifting and some of the classes. But I just need to like get my stamina up and like get moving again. Yeah. So anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like I'm getting stuff done. It just is like.
That's a huge step.
I know.
That's pretty huge.
I also cleaned out my entire freezer and fridge. So it was like, which was a whole thing. I had overbought everything. It was like stuffed. It was so bad. I had a friend come over that was like making cocktails and stuff. And like, usually they have places to put stuff. There was nowhere to put anything. And I had done one of those meal home things. I really liked the Hungry Root, which I really, really liked.
Yes.
But I was getting too much food. So I canceled it because I'm like, it's too much for me right now. And I had all these leftover stuff that wasn't expired, but it was close to expiring. And it was stuff I wouldn't really eat. And I just had like a come to Jesus moment. I'm like, listen, I know you feel bad because it's food waste and you feel guilty and it feels like there's people starving in the world and you could give it to a shelter. We're at the point now we're going to self-preserve.
Yep.
And we're just going to get rid of it. So it's like I went through and I just threw everything away that I didn't like, that was close to expiring. I had like flour and different things like in canisters. And I was like, I had to Google, like, how long does flour last? I was like, it doesn't last that long. So I had threw all that away, like just did a whole purge.
Oh, I bet that felt really good. It felt
so good because I just realized like part of my issue because of this stupid life coach making me think about life. One of the things I realized is that I really love clean spaces. Like I'm not a minimalist. I'm like I'm not even a maximalist, but I like my stuff, and I like seeing things displayed nicely, but I can't handle piles and just too much where things don't have a place.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of this weekend. I was so pissed though. So like I have in my office, I have a closet. It's not a walk-in, but it has like a dead space. So it's like, it's like a closet you open, but then like to the right, there's like 3 feet of space that you have to like go into the closet to get to.
Yeah.
It's dead. I can't really get to it. And I was like, I need to get rid of this. Like I need to figure this out because I had a bookcase in there and I couldn't get to the stuff and I was getting frustrated. I was like, okay, I'm going to move the bookcase to my bedroom closet, which again, I don't walk-ins. I have normal closets and I'm like doing all this rearranging. It's all going great. And I get done. And I think that I've like really mastered this. No, there's more now outside of the closets. Like I just had so much in there and I was like, I can't live like this anymore. So now I'm just like in this process of just slowly purging because I just can't. Yeah. I need to make space. So again, it was just really annoying to come to that conclusion. And it's
but good, though.
But really good. And it's not like I'm a bad organizer or anything. It's just like I just have so much stuff. Yeah. And I'm a hobby taker on her. So I have these like hobby things that have all these supplies. Like I probably have, no joke, 400 skeins of yarn.
Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, it sounds, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I wouldn't be surprised if I had 200.
Yeah.
And
you got to store that somewhere.
Yeah. And it's just, everything's taking up space. But at the same time, it's like, well, I don't want to just get rid of it all because I know I'm going to get back into it. And then you don't want to, anyway.
Yeah. So what about the dead space? What happened to that?
I filled it up with like these tubs of stuff that were in my bedroom that I never access. And then, but it's still like, nothing, there's just too much stuff.
It wasn't a good enough solution.
It wasn't a good enough solution. The solution is to have I really need a garage. Yeah. And I know some people like, you just need to get rid of stuff. Well, guess what? I don't want to get rid of my tools kit, Sarah. You know, I want to keep my, extra step looter.
Step looter. Do you have a step ladder?
I have 2 step ladders because I have one
for
tall
you have
things
your
and short
house,
things.
You're going to want.
Yeah. So it's like, it's hard to like, okay, I could get rid of like all of the stuff. Like I have a desk. I'm using a table as a desk in my office. And then I have a second desk because I need 2 spaces, one for work and one for like my job work and one for not. Anyway, but it's like, I don't want to get rid of the table because I want to use that as a game table when I have my house. And so it's just like, then I'm like, well, you could just rebuy it. I'm like, well, to rebuy it would be like $400. And it's like, why would I do that? Yeah. And it was my grandpa's. So it's just like, anyway, all that to say is I'm changing my life, everyone.
Yeah, you are.
No more gloomy Beth, only semi-gloomy Beth. Like it's like this, like the days when it's like the cloud with the little sun on the weather app. That's me now.
Okay, good.
Not just a cloud.
That's good.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah. So that's my life right now.
Well, I'm glad to see you. I feel like it's been too long.
It's been way too long. We can't do it again like this.
I know.
Yeah. No more.
we need more consistency.
Yes. Consistency is key.
Hey, if you're enjoying this podcast and would like to support our show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost, so check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.